We're gonna have to perceive.
Does that mean I have to re-perform this entire thing?
No.
Okay, thank God.
Not really.
Court is now back in session.
Right. We're fine.
I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you, Mr. Justice. Oh, you mean me? Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat?
Right, him. Don't worry about him. I settled that.
You settled that?
Yes, it was an out-of-court settlement. Right. Perhaps Farlene would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right?
I think he's on to me.
I wish you would stop being so cool! But let's dispense with these necessities and niceties, rather, I don't know how to speak, and get straight to the matter. What were your plans for our gifted witness? Right, the defense would like to request another cross-examination, because I forgot to ask something.
There was no issue with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time.
Understood, Your Honor.
Don't forget Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has the habit of fiddling with his book. I could not prevent the killer from leaving the scene, nor could I simply leave the scene in good conscience. Ergo, I used my cell phone to call the police. Oh, did you? Until the police arrived at the scene 10 minutes later, I saw no one else.
I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all.
Focus, Apollo. Find his weak spot.
Focus. If it were only that easy. My ears hear what he says, and my eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have?
Come to your senses, defenseless.
What's this? My bracelet. What's going on? Bracelet feels different somehow.
I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you, Apollo? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony.
I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. Okay. So yeah, I get my perceived thing. Okay, so just tell me which statement is the suspicious one.
The cell phone one.
Okay.
Hold it!
You called immediately after witnessing the murder.
The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo. This has to be it.
Wait, you mean his habit?
Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book.
The only time he even had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for this habit. I don't know how I know, but I know.
Know what?
It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something about the witness.
Your bracelet?
I'm not sure I get this focus stuff you were talking about, Juicy, but I have a feeling that trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch my bracelet with as it reacts to the testimony. So whenever we get a testimony and we see this icon at the top, that means you're gonna have to perceive something. Alright, just tell me which statement you think is the suspicious one.
Okay.
Alright, and then I'll help do the perceive. What's going on? I can see the witness's face. His expression so clearly, it's filling my mind. I can see nothing else, hear nothing else.
Apollo?
Trucy, what's happening to me?
This is what I meant by focusing.
Focusing?
In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does.
Well, that's great. It's kind of freaking me out.
Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch. His habit. You remember it, right?
Sure. When he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page of his book.
You got it! Right now, you're looking at the witness's face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out.
I bet they are.
First, move your focus of attention down to Mr. Stickler's hand.
His hand?
You know what to look for now, but you have to be looking at the right place.
He's right. I can only see his face like this. I've been trying to change my viewpoint. Go all the way down.
Perfect. Now you're really ready.
Ready for what?
Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch.
Perceive.
Try listening to the witness talk as you focus. Then watch for this habit.
Right. You mean when he fiddles with a page?
That's right. That's your signal to look closer. To perceive what... Find his weak spot, and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush.
Spoken like a true pokerhead's daughter.
I'm a magician, thank you very much.
So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers.
Don't worry if you miss it. You can always try again.
Right. Without nervous twitch, here comes justice. Alright, so you gotta tell me what the suspicious statement was, and then it's gonna go to, like, specifically on that statement, and it's gonna separate them into, like, different sections. So you tell me which section is the suspicious part. But you can tell, obviously, by when he twitches his fingers.
I use my cell phone.
So, it'll be this one.
Gotcha!
I saw it. Just now, I could see it.
Mr. Justice, do you have something to say? Oh, this banging of desks. It's quite bad for my circulation, you know.
Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why did you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone!
What are you talking about?
I'm curious now about the cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask a few questions? What to ask? What to ask?
Ask to see his phone.
Mr. Stickler! Please, sir, show me your cell phone.
Why? What for?
Show me and you'll find out.
Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't, you don't have it.
Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone?
Yeah, where did you get that? That's the phone from yesterday.
Look, a cell phone.
Someone dropped it beneath this tire. If the car moved, it would be crushed for sure.
I wonder if it belongs to the doctor here. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Can you explain why your cell phone is sitting here in my hand at this very moment?
Wait a minute. What is the meaning of this?
The cell phone was found yesterday in the Miraculous Clinic garage.
The Maractus? Why, that's where the victim lived. Yeah, that's impossible.
Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone is here, how could you have called the police?
It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. That is why it can be said that I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone! So you didn't call on your cell phone after all?
Just where was this payphone located, Mr. Stickler?
Well, to indicate it with a startling high degree of accuracy, it was right around here. That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie?
There could be only one reason. He didn't want the court to know he had lost his cell phone because it was found in the victim's garage.
What are you saying?
Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Miraculous Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all!
But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into this fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I were trying to kill him. Well, Dr. Maractus was killed that night. Well, yes, but no. This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. Yes, it's true. I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it at night! Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to connection with the crime! Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Strickler to the crime.
Oh, he's already connected enough. I just have to prove it. Well, do I have a piece of evidence I can do the job? Can I prove the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder?
Well, prove it was dropped at the night of the murder?
Yeah.
Well, the car would have left, right? And then the car came back, so the only place where the cell phone could have... It had to have been that night when the car wasn't used, because if the car was used before the night of the murder, it would have been crushed and destroyed.
Okay, and how do we know that the car was used?
Because there was shit in the exhaust pipe.
You can't,
underwear.
You can't drive a car if there's something in the exhaust pipe.
But those panties... Or wait, what was in the exhaust pipe?
The panties, yeah.
The panties could have only been in the exhaust pipe had it been out that night.
No.
Oh, I guess it's not true. We know it was driven because it hit Phoenix.
And how do we know it hit Phoenix?
Because it had a dent or something.
No.
Phoenix said so.
No. Yes, but no.
Because we know it hit Phoenix because there was a broken mirror.
Yeah.
A broken mirror.
Of course I have evidence. Ooh, I'd like your slagger, Fred. Hit it.
The court will see this evidence, Mr. Justice. Hit it, as they say.
The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped on the night of the murder is...
Take that!
That's a side view mirror.
As it so happens, Dr. Maractus' car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder.
An accident.
An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m., just outside People's Park, our murder scene. Dr. Maractus' car hit a pedestrian.
What are you trying to say?
From the absence of a mirror, it's clear that the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car was parked in that garage, then it would have been crushed! After all, it was lying on the ground right under the wheel! Ergo, Mr. Stickler, the only time you could have dropped this in that garage was after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder in the park! Mr. Stickler, you know what this means. You did break into the victim's garage that night.
This is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Paul Maractus? No, stop! This is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor! Say something!
I suppose it is worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Paul Maractus. That is, other than this.
I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared? Yes, Your Honor.
I know that face. That's the face of guilt.
That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on the way back. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all as clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene. Yes, but your cell phone was lying in a garage. Yes. Well, as you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know. Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination, please.
That's funny. I basically didn't react at all during that testimony.
His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around.
Right, no problem. I hope. Here comes justice! That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. So you went shopping, which means you were holding a grocery bag when you witnessed the murder taking place?
Well, yes, of course.
Incidentally, the prosecution has received no reports of this domestic detail.
Mr. Stickler, can you explain yourself? No, I mean, yes, I did go shopping, really. I walked around the supermarket, trying out the free samples. It's a deeply spiritual time for me. I'm sure the store clerks would disagree. You think sampling free food counts as a religion? In any case, that night, I sampled to my heart's content and was on my way back home, yes.
I must have dropped my cell phone on my way back. That's when you passed in front of the Maractus clinic.
Why, yes, that's correct. That was a pretty suspicious pause there.
Mr. Stickler, do you think you could be a bit more specific? Please show us the exact route you took, the route you took on the night of the murder.
Of course. The supermarket is here, along the main road. My way home from there takes me past the Maractus clinic. This is probably when I dropped my cell phone. Yet, woe is I walked on, unaware of my loss. And walked right into that fateful park. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime.
Which entrance did you enter if the park found?
Well, to be exact, one might say that I went in from the entrance closest to the Maractus clinic.
The same entrance as our victim used. Did you notice anything when you entered? Wheel marks from a noodle stand, for instance?
I have no recollection of such a thing, no. Yet, though I might have missed the tracks, I could not miss what happened next. I am a keen observer of the obvious, you might say.
So the killer, the victim, and the stand, all as clear as day. This part of the testimony is the key, I know it. Should I press him about the killer, the victim, or the noodle stand?
Perhaps. I don't know. Which one?
This is Ace Attorney.
The killer! The noodle stand!
Oh. Do you happen to remember the noodle stand?
Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle. Yes! That was it. For remembering something quite well, it sure... Oh, hold on. For remembering something quite well, it sure took you a while to tell us. And thank you for telling us that her noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Oh my God, my voice. Well, Mr. Justice.
What about that sign? Could that be important?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So the sign on the noodle stand said noodle. It appears the defense has just obtained a vital piece of testimony.
Is this noodle stand's broth really that delicious? I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days. What?
Yes.
Sample the wares?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
You never heard that before?
I'll have to go sample the wares one of these days.
It's like like a product. Like
sample the wares.
I'm gonna go to a store and look at the wares. You know. Let me just check and see if I have the wares in stock. You never heard that before?
Is this a joke?
This is not a joke. This is.
I've never heard any person ever say this. Ever. I'll have to go sample the wares.
Yes.
One of these days.
It's a common thing that people say.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
That is not a common thing.
That is a common thing.
Nope.
That is. I'm a young new man, all right, and I've heard it several times.
People in the comments, please tell me that's a common thing. Never heard that in my entire life. I think that's worth adding to the testimony as well. Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match up to the IVU's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for a taste of our smart noodles.
I wouldn't mind a taste of them myself.
Why, I even remember the sign on the stand the victim was pulling. It said noodle.
So the sign said noodle. You're absolutely sure?
Let me be frank. No, I'm frank!
No.
Yes. In fact, the word unsure isn't even in my dictionary. Nor the word uncertain, or...
I was wasting time looking that stuff up.
Noodle, eh? I like that. It tells you that you're getting no nonsense.
Tells you what you're getting.
Tells you what you're getting. No nonsense.
Tells me a lot more than that, actually.
Why are you smiling like that, Apollo?
Well, I might as well, what's so important about this?
Because it's Eldoon.
I mean, yeah, it does say Eldoon. But it says Doodle on this side.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Huh? Look at this, Apollo. Mr. Eldoon spelled his name backwards on this side.
I think that says Doodle. As in Eldoon's Noodles.
Huh? Oh, I get it. So the name of his store is the same whether you read it forwards or backwards.
Yeah. I guess it would be. Well, except for the last S.
And how about a store called Team Meat?
Close, but that would be Team Mayet backwards. And what kind of store is that?
A store that sells meat. It's not meat unless it's Team Meat.
Objection!
And you're absolutely sure the sign read Doodle?
Why, just last week, my professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I'll give you that. It's read without a doubt, Noodle.
I see.
What? Why are you looking at me like that? Is that pity I see in your eyes?
Let's take a look at our maps, shall we? So, you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing... here, was it? Although it would have been a bit hard to read the sign from this spot.
You think so?
Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to please take another look at the stand, and to carefully read what the sign says. See? The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. Eldunes.
Inconceivable. I'm certain it was definitely Noodle for sure. Positive. I'm afraid your professor was wrong about that eyesight.
I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. The witness says the sign said noodle.
And he saw it right.
What would you say if I told you that there is one spot from which the sign would be read the way Mr. Stickler claims?
What? Mr. Justice? Show us this spot.
The witness actually viewed the stand from this location.
Behind.
So like up here?
So wait, hold on, just to be clear, he's claiming he saw it from what spot?
He said he saw it from here. But what did he actually see?
He actually saw it from there.
From up here?
Yeah.
The witness was standing here, on the opposite side. Oh my god, it's a 3D model.
How do you know that?
When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads Eldunes, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stand.
Oh, this side says Noodle.
Exactly. The name of that stand is split between the front and back signs. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south.
Yeah, you got me.
So what? So what? What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or the south side? It makes no difference at all.
He is right. Travel far enough to the south and you will end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning.
Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change?
Changes everything, Apollo.
You see?
Remember his testimony from before? Though, to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading.
Ah! Ah!
The killer and the victim are facing each other here. Then, at the moment the killer raises his weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. He shouts, at which point the victim turns his head to look.
Chop, chop, chop.
And the killer fires his pistol. That's why the bullet hit him right in the temple. Hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right?
Right. But if Mr. Stickler was standing on the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario.
Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, and the victim looks in his direction, the bullet would have hit him in the left temple.
In the Shirley Temple.
Ah! Ah! In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in his right temple. It's impossible. That's right. So now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the wound location takes on an entirely different meaning.
Indeed. You're absolutely correct, Charlene.
What meaning? The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north. North? Ah! But that's where the witness, Wesley Stickler, was standing. Correct. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself.
Ah!
Order!
Wow. Apple didn't fall from the tree. You flipped this whole case on its head while I was still figuring it out. Clarify 1 point for me, if you would, head for head. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? Well, I can't say he exactly looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer.
No, please, looks aside, I'm really a nice guy. All my friends say so. Let's hear what the defense has to say.
What are you going to do now, Justice? Try to really accuse Mr. Stickler?
Accuse of another crime.
I don't think Wesley Stickler is the killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me that much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why now!
The word confession isn't in my dictionary.
Tisk. Head for head. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate Ed Stickler's silence.
Mr. Justice, you did say you were accusing the witness just now for a crime other than murder. Your reason? The court's all ears.
I know he's guilty of something. What crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in some other crime?
Your evidence? The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in a crime. He stole a bowl.
No, he didn't, because the bowl was on the floor.
Yeah. Let's see here. No. Wait, go back to that. He would have been right by the trash can.
Yes.
But what does the bloomers do as a crime? What do the bloomers have to do with anything? Distinctive. Did he shit himself and then he had to, because he was afraid and threw
He's on men's underwear.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Stickler was.
Also, we have been reported of another crime.
Okay, another crime. Okay, move on.
So, what are the crimes that we are investigating?
The crime of Phoenix getting hit by a car.
Okay, but that we proved that was Paul Miraculous's car, not Wesley Stickler, so it can't be him. Okay?
Oh, we broke into the garage. That's a crime.
To do what?
I guess he put the panties in there, huh? He did that? Which would mean that he's a thief.
The evidence is this!
What? Is that women's underwear? Hey, those are mine. Don't look at me like that! Order! Mr. Stickler, while I can't say this comes as a shock, it's not what it seems. By Pythagorean's theorem, I don't know what the fuck is that. By Pythagoras' theorem, I swear it.
On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in no other place than the Miraculous Clinic garage.
Aha!
Incidentally, these panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car there. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree.
Please, hear me out. It's not what it looks like. Order, order, order! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed. It's not what it seems. So, are we to understand that you were silent not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit your theft of this girl's undergarments? Perhaps you are not aware that my school's name was originally written IV. I stands for intelligent, V stands for valiant. See? Your point. I'm not done. Now I'm a major in the science department. And what does science teach if not curiosity? Yes, we of IVU, science department, are valiantly curious. No challenge is too daunting, and what greater challenge? To science than a mystery!
God! You're talking about a girl's panties here!
No, you do not understand. A mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. And my friends, when it comes to mysteries, those panties are the promised land. From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate. For science, a full-sized car tire was only the first mystery those panties revealed.
Tire?
Yes! I saw her do it! She pulled a tire out of those panties! But that's not all. First there was the tire, then a stew pot and a frozen chicken! One mystery after another. It was magic. Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audiences at the Wonder Bar.
Huh?
He's talking about my magic panties trick!
Why you destroying my mics?
I just don't understand. A broom from a pair of panties. It marks the very laws of science, physics.
Broom? Frozen chicken, Juicy? Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits?
Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties to understand a magic trick? You say panties, but they are so much more than that. For me, they are an object for serious study.
I wonder. There has been a recent flash of panty snatchings in the area. Were they all you?
I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied a pair of panties flapping through this beam, even that is night she chased me through the streets. I went, here's a toy. Perhaps this is the night that I will seize the truth. Yet woe is I, for once again the lazy, hard-padded truth begot me. Still, that leaves one thing unexplained.
You're referring to the witness's other lie, yes? The witness claimed he saw the crime from the south, but it was in fact in the north.
Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that?
Read my guest, Ed Forehead. Me! Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea?
Apollo, there's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right near where Mr. Stickler was standing, isn't there a... Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about his location? Because there was panties in the frickin' trash can?
The evidence that shows why he lied is this.
What? More panties!
How many panties are you carrying in your bucket there, Fred? These are the last! Honest! These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we can see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood.
Mr. Stickler, you didn't. Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties. So, these panties are your handiwork as well? That night, I had been chased, bound, hounded into the Maractus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Do you see how I felt?
Believe me, I'd rather not.
I hid in the garage for a short while. Then, abandoning the panties, I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion. A giant pair of panties.
Apparently you didn't know those bloomers belonged to the mob.
I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder.
The murder of Dr. Maractus.
I reported what I had seen, but as I waited for the police to arrive, I got scared. What if they searched me?
That's when you disposed of the bloomers?
Yes! It was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne.
Jason Bourne.
A fascinating if disturbing tale. I think I'm gonna pass out.
I believe we have like 10 lines left.
I believe this brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss this witness for the remainder of the trial.
One last thing, if I might.
Yes, Prosecutor Gavin.
Regardless of where we ended today, some vital points were made. Namely, that the defendant, Rocky Kentucky, was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing, Rocky Kentucky has a clear motive.
Indeed, the defendant, Waki Kitaki, is still the prime suspect in this case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there was no one else at the scene of the crime.
At the time?
At the time, yet a mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation from both the defense and prosecution.
Yeah, baby. No problem.
Very well, this brings the trial for the day to a close. Court is adjourned.
Alright. And we'll go to the next investigation in
the next episode.
Watching this episode of Apollo Justice, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, be notified every time we upload, which is
every single day.
Goodbye.